The price of oil will drop like a rock as soon as a deal is done. I guess it already is today. No, we have a very serious chance of making a deal. That doesn't guarantee anything. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not going to come out here in a week or 2 weeks and have you all say, oh, you said. I didn't say anything. All I'm saying is we are in the throes of a real possibility of making a deal. And I think if I were a betting man, I'd bet for it.
All right, bet for it. The Art of the Deal. He wrote the book, literally. Joining me now live, a member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee. She's got her finger on the pulse on what this means for your gas prices and your affordability. There she is, Indiana Congresswoman Erin Houchin. Congresswoman, welcome. Nice to see you.
Great to be with you, Ed.
What's your sense about the president's big announcement today, whether this deal may hold? Obviously, nobody knows what the Iranians may or may not do, but the president putting this out there, the markets like it, obviously. Oil, the price of a barrel is coming down. What might it mean for your constituents in Indiana? What might it mean for real Americans tonight, in your estimation?
Well, thank you so much. This has been a good sign today for oil prices, and the president's leadership is working in the progress in the Middle East. I think this 5-day pause and the resulting market changes are all positive signs that we're hopefully nearing the end of this in a way that's going to benefit our United States interests and, of course, our partners in Israel.
What do you think it means for the Strait of Hormuz? I saw you posting on X, Iran blocking the strait as a reminder of exactly what is at stake here when America depends on foreign adversaries for energy. President Trump is confronting this regime head on. He's right to do it. American energy independence is a national security issue. I know some of your colleagues have said, without you and the president and others in the Republican Party pushing on all fronts, drill, baby, drill, and the rest of it, making America more energy independent, we would have had a bigger oil shock in recent days and weeks. What say you?
That's absolutely correct. And we were energy independent for the first time as a country in 40 years during the first Trump administration because of the interest in making America energy efficient and energy independent. I think the Strait of Hormuz is a perfect example of why we don't want to be reliant on foreign oil sources for our domestic supplies and why we need to invest in American energy. And we have certainly led that effort under President Trump's leadership in Congress as part of the Energy and Commerce Committee, trying to streamline permitting. Let's get this going again. And had we not done those things, I'm certain we would have had much more negative effects from Iran's actions in the Strait of Hormuz. And we just can't rely on foreign for our foreign enemies who are trying to disrupt not just American oil supplies, but global oil supplies.
Yeah, this may be a real great product of the hostilities, getting more independent and not being stuck on the grip of Mideast oil in particular. Let's bring the focus back home, not just on gas prices, but what's happening at airports. We still see these long lines. The president, the border czar, Tom Homan, are sending more ICE agents to some of our busiest airports as your Democrat colleagues still block this full funding of the Department of Homeland Security. You know, when the House Democrat leader, Hakeem Jeffries, actually said on CNN yesterday that ICE agents might kill people at airports. What's your reaction to that kind of fear-mongering?
I think that's some just more Democrat hysteria when they're backed into a corner on their bad policy decisions. You'll start to see more and more of this. We are calling in ICE agents right now to help with the 6-hour lines that are caused by the Democrats not funding the Department of Homeland Security when they know full well that ICE and Border Patrol have already been funded and they're only hurting our TSA agents currently, FEMA resources, as well as the Coast Guard. 100,000 federal workers are out of a paycheck now. Most of those are in TSA. So I applaud the president and his leadership and Tom Homan for transitioning ICE agents to help the American people, while meanwhile the Democrats will not do their jobs and fund the Department of Homeland Security. When we're in conflict with Iran, when we have domestic terror threats, and not to mention the inconvenience at airports across the country, the American people deserve better. I hope that the Democrats will fund the Department of Homeland Security, but if they won't, our ICE agents are going to step in to help and make sure that we get these things moving again in a safe way.
Earlier today on Newsmax, I spoke to the former TSA chief, John Pistol. Here's what he told me about the current crisis. I want to get your reaction. Watch.
the men and women of TSA, look, they're just doing their job. They swore an oath to the Constitution to uphold the Constitution against all threats, foreign and domestic. And so the fact that they are being used as a pawn in this is just outrageous, because obviously this shutdown has nothing to do with TSA. It's all about the political views of ICE and what they should or should not be doing. So to make the American taxpayers and everybody who's flying, this is not good for America. This is not good for business.
We know it's not good for America. We know it's bad for businesses. It's bad for, people taking their kids on spring break. But what's frustrating, I think, to so many Americans is nothing seems to be done about it. The Democrats, for 6 weeks now, have prevented TSA workers from getting paychecks. How do you finally break this stalemate?
Well, it's hard to break a stalemate when the other side is being completely irrational and putting the interests of illegal immigrants over the interests of American citizens. That really defies logic. I think it's going to take pressure from the American people to say no more. But in the meantime, we're going to work with the president to make sure that we try as best we can to ease some of these burdens and provide the national security necessary to keep this country safe and secure, putting American citizens first. Unfortunately, the Democrat Party has been continuously putting American citizens last. We see that not just in this DHS issue, but with 100% of Democrats voting against Delilah's Law, which is to make sure that illegal immigrants can't get CDLs and drive 80,000-pound trucks on our roadways, and making it easier for people to get CDLs, illegals to get CDLs, than it is for our own military veterans. I do hope that the Democrats will come to their senses.
One would hope so. Before we go, I'm going to put you on the spot for a minute about your district. District 9, as I understand it, the great state of Indiana. As we approach America 250, we're trying to ask every member of Congress, Democrat, Republican, man, woman, tell us a little bit about what makes your district special. I know you've got the national champion football team, right? The IU Hoosiers. What else makes your district special? What makes you proud to be American?
Well, my goodness, we also are home to the Milan state championship winning basketball team, the inspiration for the movie Hoosiers. We are a sports state. Indiana University used to be a basketball state. I attest that we're a football college now. But this district is heavily agriculture, a lot of hardworking farm communities, a lot of hardworking manufacturers, the home to many special places, including the Salem Speedway in my hometown, which has given birth to NASCAR greats like Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon.
That's a lot. I mean, I can understand why you are so proud of your district and the great constituents, real Americans out there. I hate to correct you because you're so nice, but my son went to the University of Miami, so I think you're still a basketball school, despite beating the Miami Hurricane. You're not a football school yet.
Well, I would beg to differ, Ed. Let's look at the scoreboard at the end of that Miami game, and two-thirds of the crowd in Miami were Hoosiers.
You're right. It's amazing you won on Miami's home turf. I got to give you props. I'm teasing you. You're a football school, you're a basketball school, and you are darn proud, and you should be, of your district. Congresswoman Houchin, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll have you back soon. That was fun.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.